Welcome to show.
This is called the Island Shuffle.
This Island Shuffle. This Island Shuffle.
This Island Shuffle. Today is episode 39.
It's episode 39. This is a podcast where me, Ben Levier,
and me, James Brown.
We watched the show Lost in the wrongest order possible.
And it's very wrong. Random. True random. Random.org. Random number generator. Static noise.
We're hitting all the hits, and we're hitting them big and fast today.
And we're hitting them random.
We're just hitting them random.
Willy-nilly.
We go here and then we go there.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
We don't really care.
It's, the middle of March.
It is.
And why bother?
Why bother? That's how March in Montreal often feels.
It's the middle of March and I've given up.
I've had it. Spring never is going to come.
Yeah, spring is done.
Summer's never going to come.
Summer happened last year.
It happened last year, and it's not.
Now it's gone.
Now it's just gone. It's never coming again.
And here we are, though. There is a slight tropical escape that you can take.
Yes, of course.
But it's rife with danger and questionable writing choices.
Yes, and that tropical island is, of course, the Island Shuffle. So join us, won't you?
Because we're watching Lost.
We're watching Lost, and we're not watching it in the good order.
And today we just finished, literally 20 minutes ago. The tape was rolling on Season 1, Episode 15.
The title of the episode? Homecoming.
Homecoming.
And the focus of the episode?
Coming home.
Coming home. I'm trying to think of how the title even makes a bit
I
of
know,
sense.
me too, because there is no aspect of homecoming.
None whatsoever, except for Claire coming back, I guess.
But that's not home. You can't live in an island for 1 month.
And then be like, this is my home. No, it's nonsense.
Home is for every single character, not on the island.
I think it was just named after their favorite Kanye West and Coldplay collaboration.
I thought it was named after their favorite dance, but whatever.
Yes, probably. You could, that's the thing about Lost. It's so mysterious.
That's it. There's a lot of speculation, and there's, well-written fan theories about both.
Yeah.
Things that we just posed.
Exactly.
But we won't get into that. We're just going to get into what the hell is going on in this episode.
On this island, anything can happen.
Anything.
You'll never believe what happens on this island.
No.
A man can get shot.
A man.
A pregnant girl can get amnesia.
A pregnant amnesiac.
Can you believe it? This never happens on the mainland, on a continent.
I have never seen a pregnant amnesiac woman.
And I've never seen a man getting shot. Yet upon this island, both of those.
Both at the same time?
Both at the same time.
Pregnant amnesiac beside man get shot?
Boy, the island truly does shuffle, doesn't it?
Man gets shot by pregnant amnesiac, and pregnant amnesiac after shooting go, did I do that? What happened?
What's a gun?
I know, remember. Memory foggy?
Memory foggy. Gun?
More like memory gone.
Memory gone. Bullet gone.
Bullet was gun.
Bullet gun. Gun gone.
Gun gone. Gun in hand. Bullet in chest. Man on ground. Where?
This is just some word for word dialogue that we are reciting from the episode.
They really fucked up on this.
Everyone says season 1's the best one, but if you're listening to the dialogue, it's all.
They really lost those filler words that you put between the main words in a sentence.
Yeah, what happened is they spilled a lot of ink in very specific places on the script, and they didn't have time to print another one, so they just had to be like, fuck.
Man gone, pregnant amnesiac. Oh, wow.
Print
Bullet
it.
where?
Cut, on to the next. We got 24 of these to get through. Go, go, go.
We got no time.
We got no time. Nobody knows if this is going to be the cultural zeitgeist that it's going to be. We just got to churn this out.
We got 22 million people waiting to watch this. Better get it out ASAP.
Oh my god. So, where do you want to start with this episode of the show called Lost?
Let's
about
do the island stuff first because I
Okay.
feel like I really want to just like rip apart the
Okay.
flashback stuff at the end.
Okay,
That'll be fun.
that'll be a good like dessert, I
It's
think.
garbage.
It's bad, but it's so
It's
good.
yeah.
Can we say off the top, we just had a season 6 episode that was very bad.
Yeah.
Then before that, we had a season 2 episode that was very boring.
Yeah.
We went into this season 1 episode with some high hopes.
Yeah, we were like, this is where the show is good.
This is where it is universally agreed that this is the show. The narrative about the show
Yeah.
is it starts good and gets worse steadily as it goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
And while that is not untrue, it does a disservice to the fact that the show might just be bad all the way through.
It could be, yeah, exactly. That because we've watched damn near 40 episodes now, a
Yeah.
third of the show.
Yes.
The majority of the episodes, I would say, are subpar television.
For sure.
I've had good times.
I would guess that 10 of the 40 episodes, 10 of the 39 episodes, let's say.
Yeah.
Let's be accurate. I'd say 10 of the 39 episodes have been solid, rewatchable episodes of
Yeah.
television that I was entertained by.
Like 7 out of 10 plus.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that was a solid ep.
But this ep was like a 6 out of 10.
I might even go a 5.
It was, yeah.
It was I guess the only thing they're probably sitting with bated breath, wondering, well, what's this episode so bad for?
What was going on
And
this
it's my-
whole
and it's
time to
my-
make you think, I'd say those terrible things about my favorite show.
My favorite show.
I love this show, Lost.
All the Lost fans out there are thinking, this is my favorite television show ever, and I can't wait for these guys to praise it.
Yeah, exactly.
just-
We're finally back to season 1 where it was an absolute masterpiece, a real achievement in television history.
And like, no, dude, it's got problems.
yeah, it's not good.
So, the premise of the episode, right out the gate, is you might recall that during a time in season 1, Claire got kidnapped by Ethan.
Yeah,
And we explored that period in one of the episodes.
I remember that.
This episode is when she returns to camp first after getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
She gets carried in, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's Claire, Claire. But guess what? Claire wakes up and sees Jack, and Jack's like, hey, it's okay.
Sup,
And he
Claire?
immediately starts screaming.
Who are you? I don't know where I am. I don't remember a single aspect of life on the island. That's what she says. Claire is briefly like Brooklyn born and raised, but with like and with a 7th grade education. And she does not remember a thing.
Oh, so Claire comes out and she sounds like that, and she also doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember her good friend Charlie, who is the star of the show, and everyone's like, "What the heck?" So right out the gate, we have a classic good plot point that everybody loves: the amnesiac. I just love some amnesia. You want some?
Worst, laziest script writing in the world.
I think it's just so good.
I honestly, if you ask me, it's been done too many times. It was never that satisfying in the first place, and it's not a real life thing that really happens.
I'm thinking about it, and outside of like Lost,
Yeah.
I cannot think of any other instance that I've heard of amnesia outside of something like making fun of something. Like you would have like they would watch like a bad soap opera, and the joke would be like everyone
They
has
have
amnesia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally like I was kind of astounded when we came out the gate, and right away amnesia
is the main plot point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
big, quite big.
It sucks.
I'm not saying people don't really suffer amnesia, but I doubt they suffer it when the plot says they have to.
Exactly. When it is most convenient for
Mhm.
the writers.
Do it. Exactly. So,
But thank God, so we have this awful foundation. Thank God we get to reel it in with a focus on Charlie Pace.
Charlie Pace, the heart and soul of the group, the humor,
The drive shaft of the group.
the rock star who's really funny.
He's funny. He's charming.
Funny
He's
Charlie Pace.
A hobbit.
He's not funny or charming.
No, he's not.
I definitely remember watching this show back in the day.
I
And
thought he was cool when I was a kid.
I loved Charlie. I thought he was cool,
Yeah.
and I thought he was funny, and I felt bad for him because of how much of he was addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
He has aged surprisingly poorly.
He's a whiny fucking not useful
Mhm.
loser.
He's a whiny, not useful loser. So a lot of this episode revolves around everyone's kind of trying to figure out what to do. Claire's back. Well, what about Ethan? And sure enough, so Charlie is like walking with Jin, and Charlie's like
Just berating Jin for some reason.
just literally being like this is back when Jin doesn't understand any English.
Yeah, this
so-
is back before Jin is perfectly fluent in English and
And-
spends his dying moments speaking English.
about
This is
that.
back before English was his first language.
Yeah, back
Korean
before he-
was his first language.
And so Charlie's just like being like, man, must be nice not having to care about the goings on and the drama on the island and all these kidnappings and this and that and the other. And he goes on like this for like a full minute, I'm gonna say,
too long.
of just being like, must be nice being off in your own little bubble. And like it doesn't seem like it's intended to be malicious, but it really comes across as rude as fuck.
It really does come across as like him just berating this dude who
Yeah.
can't speak English.
Yeah, exactly.
Not chill, Charlie.
Very not chill. So
So that
suddenly we hear a and whoopee, a big rock comes out of nowhere in the jungle and hits Jin in the shoulder and
hits
he dies.
Jin in the jungle.
And he dies.
He dies. That's the end of him.
That's how he
He
died.
had a brief moment of speaking English right before that. He said, "English is my first language now," and then
And
died.
then he dies. He comes back. He doesn't die.
He just gets knocked out.
He just gets knocked out, and then
Rocked out.
and then who comes out of the jungle but Ethan?
Ethan the bad
Ethan the
dude.
bad guy who picks up Charlie by the neck
Yeah.
and says, "I want Claire back. Bring her to me tonight, and if you don't, I'll kill one of them. And if you keep not bringing her, I'll kill another one, and I'll kill another person every day. You don't bring me Claire. I'm badass.
I'm a bad man named Ethan.
And-
Look at me, I have these blood stains on my face.
Yeah, and this is from, you brought up this interesting point, which is that this is from a point in time when as soon as we find out that Ethan is not a survivor of the flight, and as soon as we find out he's a bad guy, he immediately becomes like this superhuman monster.
Oh yeah, he has like super strength. He's
He-
incredibly like
Yes.
apt at killing.
Apt at killing, apt at like sneaking through the jungle,
Yeah.
and like
He's
the
an unstoppable force.
Yeah,
He's
the-
like Terminator. Or
the
something.
jungle is his turf. you
Yeah,
must
exactly.
understand. But like we've also seen him just around.
He's a fucking mechanic.
He's a mechanic
or
or something. He's like fixing their pipes or some
He
shit.
is your uncle.
He's just a
like-
he's just a buff guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe he never was meant to have superhuman strength, and maybe just like the gang is weak from being on the island for a month or something
Yeah.
like that. That's how I like to interpret it.
I guess so. Yeah, I'll give them that one.
Yeah.
You gotta give them one.
You gotta give him one. That's
your one.
that's
though.
your one, Writers of Lost.
You get
Lindelof,
one.
Hughes, Abrams. That's
I gave
your
you
one.
one.
We're giving you one.
We're giving you one on this one.
This time we're just giving you one. So, Charlie takes the news back to the gang.
Yeah.
And we've got
They're not pleased about
They're
it.
not
Let me
pleased
tell you
about
that
it.
much.
and Jack and Locke and Saeed a bit.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of the leaders. They're kind of deciding, what do we do?
What do we gotta do?
What do we got to do?
What are we doing?
And they're kind of like, do we got to do guns? And do we give in to their demands? And they
And
kinda,
Locke is like, Jack, we want to guns. And Saeed is like, yes, Jack, guns. Give guns
yeah.
here. And Jack is like, no guns, stay Locke. We kill each other, guns.
Yes, exactly. It goes a lot like that.
It's
on
they really should have just rewritten the script or reprinted it at
I
least.
think it would have been worth it.
They didn't want to spend the $5 of printing new scripts for every single person.
Well, it's expensive.
Yeah.
All that paper and ink.
All that paper and ink. And they spent all that extra ink on the ink spill that ruined the first copies.
True, they were already in the hole.
Their ink vat. The ink vat is spilling selectively.
Well, as long as it's only spilling on... Oh, it's spilling selectively on our one script? Oh, no. Just another day at the office.
Just another day
Just
here
another
at
day on-
ABC Studios here in beautiful downtown America.
Here in downtown Anytown, USA, ABC Studios. They decide to set up posts,
Oh yeah.
set up perimeters. Everyone's kind of guarding the beach.
They're just gonna look out, basically.
They're just gonna look out for them, and then
Here, we'll give Boone a sharp
we'll give
stick and see what happens.
and that'll do it. And I want to see when this happens exactly. Just let me confirm. When they're setting up like the perimeter,
Yeah.
they have a bag of like recyclables
Cans,
of
yeah.
cans sitting up there, like pulley style against one of the branches, and then they drop it, and then Locke walks up, or like Saeed, someone says like, "Okay, cool, 4 more of those should do it."
Yeah. And
Like-
it's what? Are you kidding me?
We're gonna really Home Alone this superhuman murderer.
That's it. That's the perfect. That's exactly what it is.
It rules. I love it. They
And they tried that.
do.
Believe it or not, doesn't work.
Weird.
Scott gets murdered.
Scott gets murdered. We get a moment first where we see Boone like sitting on the
Boone
beach.
displays his incompetence.
And then he wakes up and suddenly it's daytime and he runs into the bushes and he hears a rustling and he goes to charge at it and he falls over and trips. And then the rustling is just a dog.
It's a
just
dog.
Vincent. And he gives him a lick on the face and Boone's like, oh boy.
And then they go to the beach, and there is the body of Scott.
Beloved character, Scott.
His neck is snapped. All of the bones in his hands are broken. I like that statement. That is what they said. All
Yeah.
of the bones in his hands are broken.
Yeah.
Firstly, there's a lot of bones in your hands.
That's a lot of bones.
How did they confirm that all of them got broken? It's
Gotta
not like
gotta check 'em
several of
all.
his fingers are broken.
They did an autopsy.
Yeah, every single bone in the hand is broken.
That's how you know Ethan's not to be messed with. He broke every one of those bones individually, one at a time.
I can just see him like slaving away,
Mhm.
trying to get that like minuscule bone in the
Yes.
like upper left portion of your palm, being like,
Yes.
"This'll send the message."
It's got to be all the bones.
It's gotta be all of them.
Oops, all bones. Another detail I like about this murder
all the
is
bones are broken. Nah, look here, mate. The upper part of the pinky is still intact.
they must not be that serious. They're not
Don't
really a
worry,
huge
yeah.
threat. It's not a big deal.
Don't worry about it. As soon as he breaks all the bones in the hands, we will be concerned.
Yeah, if he gets that upper pinky, then we'll start talking turkey. So another detail I like about this is that they're guarding a beach, right? And they've got the whole beach surrounded, like through the jungle, the sides of the beach, everything.
Yeah.
And yet, Ethan was still somehow able to get to Scott and kill him. And the implication, someone like implies like, he must have come in through the water, which just like adds another layer of like,
What is going on with Ethan?
Ethan is apparently the most powerful thing on Earth.
He's a triathlete at the very least. He's an Iron Man.
He's a specimen.
He's a specimen. He is a specimen.
Yeah.
When he got recruited for the others, they would have been like, can you fix a 70s Volkswagen van? Yeah, I can do that. Can you murder a bunch of people really quietly? Shockingly, yeah. You know how many bones are in the human hand? Yeah, and I know how to break every single one.
And they're just like, I love this, like, because we've seen like Richard Alpert go through like a fake recruiting process where he's like, hey, come work at our biotech lab. We think you've got what it takes. So I like the idea that it's like after a certain point, it's just like, okay, well, enough of those questions. Let's get to the real shit.
Exactly. It's like, are you a cold-hearted murderer?
Yeah. How cool are you with murder and being stealthy in the jungle?
And the answer with Ian.
Great.
Ethan. Yeah, very good at it.
He's outstanding. He's a protege.
So he kills Scott.
He kills Scott.
They have a little funeral.
They have a little funeral where Hurley eulogizes Scott and admits that they don't really know anything about him.
No one knows anything about Scott.
Which I
Hurley
appreciate.
says, sorry that I kept calling you Steve. And it's like Hurley is the person that knows the most about this person.
Yeah.
Yet they've been trapped on a desert island for a month.
Just like a classic thing where it's like, oh, yeah, they have more survivors than cast members, and they have to address that sometimes.
Yeah, but they don't do a good job addressing it.
They never do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they spend a whole episode doing a bad job
They
addressing
pop
it.
out of nowhere. Everyone pretends that they've met these people before. But we know.
We know.
Scott didn't have any on-screen time.
It's true. But he has, he gets a funeral, and it's not the worst thing in the world. So... couple things happen next up. Claire basically finds out Charlie was keeping him in the dark about the nature of Ethan and why Ethan was terrorizing them. Basically, Claire finds out she's the reason.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck you, Charlie. Why didn't you tell me? I already have amnesia. I don't need less information.
Yeah. Funny line, Claire.
Yeah. Funny classic Claire do a funny amnesia joke.
Good work, Amnesia. I don't remember that joke.
Yeah. So. What happens next is the gang basically realizes, oh, someone's dead. The stakes are raised. It's gun time.
The stakes are raised. The cows are old, ready to be butchered.
And
the stakes are raised.
And they will be cooked on a spit.
On a spit?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Is that not a thing?
I don't know what a spit is.
I would look it up, but I worry about wasting more time.
The stakes are raised. So the stakes are raised.
What do you cook a steak on? I guess a
pan?
A pan or a grill?
Or a grill? Yeah.
I don't know.
A spit.
I'm thinking
Isn't that what comes out of your mouth?
I'm thinking if there's a pavement lyric about how I'll kill your parents and roast them on a spit.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I
do like that.
I always assumed that that was something. You roast something on a spit.
Did you think that he was in that lyric talking to a young cow?
I think possibly. I think that's the thing about Pavement's lyrics is there's such a mystery to them, and they're open to interpretation, and there's a lot of well-written fan theories about what they really mean.
And oftentimes they're writing from the perspective of someone talking to a young cow.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at Lost,
yeah,
as if it's told a story being told to a young cow.
Then it's a much better show.
And the stakes are certainly being raised.
The stakes are being raised. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. We unlocked the mystery of the island. We did it.
Come full circle. I love it.
We've really done it. We've really gone and done it to him this time. So, gun time. Everybody says
it's gun time.
It's gun time. It's time to do it. And here's the plan. We're gonna use Claire as bait. We're gonna. I have 4 guns. These guys. Jack's gonna get a gun. Locke's gonna get a gun. Sawyer's gonna get a gun.
Saeed's
getting a gun. You know Saeed is getting a gun. And Kate says, I want to come too, but guess what?
Not enough guns.
Not enough guns. till Sawyer says, actually, I have this extra gun from this time.
I've got a gun.
So you can come, Kate, actually. And also coming is Claire.
Yeah.
Claire, the plan is to use Claire to lure Ethan out.
Yeah.
And then once Ethan's out, they get him alive.
Yeah.
They don't want to kill him.
They do not want to kill him.
But-
Guns are a last resort.
Exactly. So they and all the while Charlie's protesting to this.
Yeah.
But
He's like, don't use Claire as bait.
don't use Claire as bait. That's so bad for Claire. What if Claire gets hurt? And Claire says, I can decide for myself.
Idiot.
Idiot, you bozo. In a rare moment of a woman making her own decision.
Yeah, seriously.
and it not having too many consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
And it actually working out.
Slightly making her own decision.
Yeah.
She's sort of coaxed into it by 4 guys with guns.
I guess so.
But no, she does sort of make the decision
Yeah.
for herself too.
For Lost, it's huge.
Yeah.
So Claire, the gang is there. Claire's walking in the forest. Everyone's creeping in the forest. And out pops Ethan like a weirdo goblin.
Oh, here I am.
It really is weird the way
It literally
he
is.
pops
It's
out.
not like he like walks up. He literally like does a like, ooh, gotcha.
He's
out
on
of,
like all fours for a second.
Yeah, he's doing like Andy Serkis motion capture. And he scurries up to Claire, and Claire runs away. And then Jack tackles him, and they have a big fight.
They have a big fist fight,
Mhm.
and it's just Jack fighting Ethan,
Mhm.
even though there's 5 other people there on Jack's
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, and to be fair, Jack,
It's close.
it's a close fight. And for a while, Ethan is just kicking Jack's ass.
Yeah.
And like Locke comes through, and they're just like, "Oh, it's over here. Jack's got him."
Jack's got him.
Jack's
and they
got
all
him.
just like stand and look. And worth noting, when Jack tackles Ethan, Jack's gun goes flying.
It sure
because
does.
Jack is dumb.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, Jack gets the upper hand, and he's just wailing on Ethan,
Really beating the shit
really
out of
beating
him.
the shit out of Mr. Ethan, and they have him. They have him at gunpoint, multiple gunpoints.
Yeah.
And
the
they're
point of 4 guns.
and they're saying, "All right, you've been tormenting us, you've been following us. What's the deal? Talk to us. Why have you been doing this?" And guess what? The bullets, not from Jack, not from Sawyer, not from Kate,
Saeed.
not from Saeed, and certainly not from Locke. From Charlie.
From Charlie. Charlie had picked up Jack's gun that fell,
He followed
and
them.
he shot Ethan like 100 times.
He shoots him 100 times, and then we kind of cut to them hanging out back at camp.
Yeah.
And Charlie and Jack's like, "Why'd you do it? We could have gotten information out of him." And Charlie's just like, "He deserved to die. I didn't want him to hurt Claire again." And it's like,
okay, I guess.
fine. And then Claire kind of comes up after it and is like, "Hey, I remember something. Why do I remember this?" And Charlie's like, we were friends.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, that's what it is.
But yeah, reestablishes that they're friends because
Mhm.
he murdered the person who
Exactly.
stole her.
Exactly. Feels bad. Feels bad that Charlie. The other thing, we haven't really gone into this, but while like Locke and Jack and like the leaders
Yeah.
are like concocting plans and such,
Yeah.
Charlie is just there like shouting at them.
Oh yeah.
Charlie's just like, "This is all a bad idea. What if Claire gets hurt?"
Yeah.
At one point, he literally says, I wrote this down because it's outstanding, and it would seem like a joke if I didn't have it written here.
Uh-huh.
He says, "You're off your head, mate."
Yes. You are off your head, mate.
You're my mate.
You're off your head.
You are off of your head. He spends time being like, just like complaining and being like, no, this is bad, don't do
Uh-huh.
it. And finally, he decides to just kill Ethan on his own.
Uh-huh.
And people are not happy about it, but ultimately Claire likes him for it.
Yeah, she's like, that was chill.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's not great. And also it feels super out of character for Charlie.
Oh, yeah, because Charlie, that's probably the only time that Charlie ever kills a
I think-
person.
yeah, that's the only time Charlie commits a murder, and it really comes out of left field.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I did it because he deserved to die.
Yeah.
I did it because I wanted to murder him.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, classic Charlie who loves to do
wants
a murder.
to murder another person. It's like Sawyer can't even murder people.
Yeah.
It's like, murder is generally treated with some importance in the show.
Exactly. And they do in future episodes delve into like Charlie deals with the consequences of this murder. I think we've talked about that in a future episode or something, or in a past episode, whatever. But like here, it just comes completely out of nowhere.
It's a bit,
like it seems like there was a better way to have Charlie be like, because his whole arc is like, oh, he's hollering and he's trying to be helpful, but he's not at all being helpful, and he finds a way to really be helpful.
And then when they have the guy
Yeah.
completely incapacitated,
Yeah.
he just like executes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Whereas it would have been interesting if there was a real reason for Charlie to kill him.
yeah, exactly.
But there's just not.
Yeah, it very it feels bad. It feels just like a way, a cheap way to shock us.
Yeah.
Because I was startled when those
Yeah.
bullets happened. I was like, oh shit. Feels like a cheap jump scare, as well as a way to not get Ethan to give answers.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
Mm.
to keep us in the dark for 3 more seasons.
Exactly. So bad. Is there anything else on the island we want to mention?
I think that's the whole
before-
island. It's very straightforward. There's not a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot I like about it. I like the vibe. I want to say that carefully.
uh-huh.
I don't want to say there's a lot I like about it. I want to say there's specifically one thing I like about it, which is the dynamic of Jack and Locke talking out the problem and trying to like figure it out instead of just like
it's nice to get to that classic like
Mm.
Jack and Locke sort of
Mhm.
butting heads a little bit.
Yeah.
Both want to be the leader, but they're both on the same page for the most part as well.
exactly. Yeah,
They both like want to do what's best for the people. There's no
Mhm.
there's no confusion. There's no like Locke believing that the island has this destiny thing
yeah,
for him.
exactly. Which he may, but it doesn't really come up here.
It's under wraps for now.
Exactly. It's a good dynamic. And like Saeed's there being like, here's what I think. Saeed's being like the tactician kind of.
Yeah.
It's a nice dynamic. That we don't get a lot of in later seasons.
Yeah, that's out the window
Mhm.
very quickly.
But other than that, very weird episode that filled with false drama.
Yeah, false drama is a good way to put it.
Speaking of false drama, let's talk about those flashbacks.
The flashbacks are interesting to say the least.
yes.
So, Charlie and Man in a Leather Jacket are down by the train tracks
yes.
doing cocaine.
Yes.
Seemingly, it seems like it's the first time that Charlie has ever done cocaine.
The way it's presented is definitely Charlie does it, and the guy is like, "How does that feel?"
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, "Whoa, it feels great."
Yeah, exactly.
I've never felt like this before in my life.
Yeah, he's like, this is incredible. I love this.
Classic thing you do when you do a drug.
And then the guy's like, well, we need to get some money so we can get more. And it's like, Charlie just did one line of cocaine and now he's a junkie in the story.
It is established that he has been a junkie. But just not in this episode. So
Yeah.
without the context, it just seems like we're just jumping into something.
But this definitely seems like the start of his drug addiction.
Yes, a bad step.
Chronologically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Leather Jacket Man has an idea, and his idea is, let's go to the bar.
Uh-huh.
See that girl? Her dad is really rich. Seduce her, steal something from her home, and then we can sell it for drug money.
Charlie's like, sure.
And then he goes over to have a good time with the girls.
They love him, obviously.
They love
he's
him.
charming. He's cool. He's a rock star.
Mm-hmm. And Charlie is just saying all kinds of cool, funny things.
Oh, he's really cool.
He says something really funny about Jane Austen, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's very...
You call yourself ladies? Jane Austen would be ashamed, is what he says.
He does say that. And the girls are like, oh, another pint. So the one of the ladies ends up taking Charlie home.
Yeah. The
And-
right lady.
The right lady. And Charlie's like, whoa, if you want to invite me for sex, don't say tea.
Just say sex.
And all the men in the audience
charming.
laugh at
Yeah.
Charming Charlie.
Charming Charlie.
Charming Charlie. Charming Charlie.
And then Charlie is like looking around at all these weird fucking antiques, and
Yeah.
there's this cigarette case that used to belong to Winston Churchill, like on display on the coffee table.
Yeah.
And he's looking at it.
And the lady comes in and is like, here's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Churchill owned that. It old. My
old.
dad loaded.
My dad loaded. You should meet my dad.
You should meet my dad.
And it's like, that's an escalation.
How about next scene in this timeline, you be at dinner with me and my dad?
And sure enough.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. Next scene in that timeline, Charlie is having dinner with the girl and her dad.
Yeah.
And the dad's talking about how he used to be in a rock band himself.
Yeah. They weren't very good.
They weren't
though.
very good. And Charlie starts talking about his own rock band.
Yeah.
Drive Shaft.
Drive Shaft.
And
He says that they're on a bit of a sabbatical,
Mhm.
that Liam and Charlie are not getting along,
Mhm.
and that Drive Shaft is done.
Yeah, it really escalates to being like, we're on a bit of a hiatus. And then by the end of it, he's like, oh, no, we're done. We're done
Over the
forever.
course of about 3 sentences, the band goes from being like an active band
Yeah.
to having broken up.
Yes. And so then we get a smash cut to him at the bar with the Leatherman.
Oh yeah, the
And-
Leatherman.
And the Leatherman says, "You did what?" And
I
Charlie
accepted
says,
a job.
I accepted a job. And Charlie accepted a job selling copiers or something.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you know what? Maybe I can be a respectable person.
He accepted a job from the lady's dad.
Yes.
Rich dad.
Exactly. And the job was selling copiers or something. And the Leatherman spews out like a minute full of just like angry British slang at him.
And he's like, also, the gist of his rant is like, oh, it's Friday now. The job starts Monday. Just see how you'll be feeling Monday
Yeah.
without your fix.
Yeah. But it's also peppered with like, you gotta be bleeding kidding me.
Are you out of your sodding mind?
Oh, you bloody wanker, you must be off your head, mate.
You wanker.
And it's it literally feels like they Googled British like slang, and we're just like, we got to shove it all in this one rant.
I like the thought that the way that they learned their British slang is they watched a video taken on like a flip phone of middle schoolers fighting at school.
Yes.
And just listen to the things that people were yelling.
Well, yeah. That's how research is done.
Yeah, that's how I do all my research.
Have you never done research before? That's how it's done.
That's how you do it. You go on YouTube and you look up fight videos.
Or you can do it for fun too, but
Bully owned by nerd.
fully owned by nerd. Liverpool.
That's funny. So yeah, the leather jacket is not happy.
Not happy. And so next scene we get is Charlie on his way to the job interview, but he's sweaty.
He's sweaty. He's not feeling good.
He's not feeling good. And he's going like, all right, going to this job interview. But then he sees the cigarette case and
Yeah.
he decides, I'm going to steal it.
I'm a thief.
I'm a thief. I'm a lover. I'm a etc. And I'm a junkie. I do it.
I'm a junkie and I do what I need to do to get my fix because I tried cocaine 4 days ago.
I tried cocaine 4 days ago, and you know what? I'm going to stop at nothing to try
I'm
it again.
done. Yeah, exactly.
it.
This is my life now.
This is it. So he goes into the job interview. And guess what? Funny Charlie can't make copier work.
Oh, he's so bad
Fu-
at technology.
Funny Charlie pressed copier button, and it goes beep. But then the copy doesn't go.
Copy doesn't work.
Copy doesn't work, and you do it again. He opens a flap. He opens another flap.
He tried to look in book, but book doesn't
Book
say.
doesn't help. He takes off his shirt. He's sweating from the withdrawal. Funny Charlie go through withdrawal and throw up on the copy machine.
He throws up all over the copy machine.
Throughout this scene, literally like Arrested Development ass ukulele is happening.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it.
Not a joke. Really, actually, the scene has ukulele soundtracking it.
It's comedic.
It's a funny scene. It really
Even though it's supposed to be Charlie's like rock bottom.
yeah, and it is Charlie's rock bottom, and it's just like doo doo doo.
Doodle-doo.
Junkie can't hold a job because his
Exactly.
addiction controls his life. Doo 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 doo. And you see, it also feels like rooted in like a lot of that like early aughts, late 90s like office humor.
Yeah.
Like that feel when the copier doesn't work and you're
Yeah.
just like, damn, I need my copies.
And all the people are looking at him. And
Yeah.
they're in the boardroom.
They're in the boardroom. Oh, brother. Cubicles.
Someone's got a case of the Mondays.
And his name is Charlie Pace.
His name is Charlie Pace.
So, the next scene we get, smash cut to strung out Charlie knocking on door
Uh-huh.
of girl. What is the girl's even name? Lucy?
No idea.
I'm gonna say Lucy. I think it's Lucy.
Lucy.
Knocks on Lucy's door. Lucy opens up, teary-eyed.
Oh, sad Lucy.
She says, "Charlie, how dare you? Guess what? The EMTs dropped off a cigarette case at your home," implying that Charlie was recently hospitalized.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, "I can't believe you didn't love me at all. You were just doing it to steal my thing so that you could sell it because you're a junkie and you're a thief. You're off your head, mate. And but guess what? There's one thing. There's
One thing I
just
need to know.
one thing I gotta know. I know why you stole the cigarette case. 'Cause you're a junkie. Gotta get that junkie monkey off your back.
Junkie.
Gotta get your fix, junkie."
Your fix.
So, it really, and she's not wrong, but does feel like she cares a lot more about the cigarette case than a human being who was just in a hospital.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I
I'm not-
I don't think she owes him any.
I also don't, to
He
be
used
clear.
her
Absolutely.
so hard.
Yes, I do agree. I don't disagree. But and she does say, but you didn't have to take the job. Why'd you take the
Why
job?
Did you take the job?
And Charlie says, "Well, I thought I could be respectable. But then I had a junkie monkey on my
I
back.
got the monkey on my back. Oh, I can't get the monkey off my back.
Gotta get that fixed."
I tried cocaine 2 times and now it took over my life.
The crazy thing about that is like the writers of this show probably all do cocaine.
They must. Why wouldn't they?
If you watch this show full through to the end, it's like
Clearly.
it's as if you stayed at a party the
Yeah.
whole time, and it's like the party starts at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so season 1 is 10 p.m. and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Season 2 is 11, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Season 3 is 12, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
After midnight, it starts to get messy.
It starts to get really weird.
By the end, it's just like a few guys in a room
ranting about like time travel and
yeah,
alternate
exactly.
realities.
And it's like, holy shit.
And like, what
this
if we were
sucks.
chosen? And you're just
Yeah.
like, man, I should have really gone home
Yeah.
way too early. But then there's also the guy at 10 p.m. who like can't stop saying things like "you're off your head, mate," and then like and gets in a fight too early and kind of casts weird vibes for a
Completely
second.
true. It was only a 7 out of 10 party to
Yeah,
begin with.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the episode homecoming of the show. Not great.
Not great. No.
Cast Charlie, who I've tried to keep in my heart.
Yeah.
It casts him in a poor light.
Yeah,
It casts
it
him in a-
really does.
It
do.
casts him in a poor light, and usually when the show casts someone in a poor light, it's with the intent of giving them some kind of redemption
Yeah.
within the episode or even later within the show.
Charlie,
Setting-
doesn't do anything good in this episode.
No, not at
really.
all. I think the fact that he murdered Ethan is supposed to be good.
But it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't need to do that.
No.
It wasn't helpful.
No. Anyways, I'm sad that season 1 episode 15 was bad. I'm sad
Maybe
that it
the
wasn't
next
good.
one will be good.
The next one might just be good.
Well, don't worry. We still have 82 episodes left.
Oh no. That's upsetting to know.
So I'm going to go to random.org.
Now, I've never heard of this website before, so why don't you tell me a little about it?
So random.org is a random number generator. It uses true random. It was developed by a very smart person to help other people do very smart things. And I went 1 to 121. I got 47.
40s heaven.
40s heaven. Welcome to the 40s.
Welcome to 40 on 40s. 47, season 2, episode 22, 3 minutes. It's Michael.
It's Michael.
It's Michael, baby.
You heard it here first, people. We will never watch a good episode of this show again.
We might have watched them all.
We might have watched the 10 good episodes of Lost already.
That's a concern, because we've got 82 left.
We're stuck with Michael again. Truly,
There can't
I
be...
might like him less than Charlie.
That is fair. Man, that's rough. But hey, that's a problem for another week.
That's a problem for another week.
Thank you for listening to our show about the bad show.
Yeah.
This has been The Island Shuffle.
Uh-huh.
I have been Bean Levier.
I've been James Brown.
Follow us on Twitter at Island Shuffle, or follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Island Shuffle if you aren't already.
You will not regret it.
You will not regret it. And guess what? Thanks for watching. We love you. And like we say at the end of every episode,
Get